Okay, so last night was the NBA draft. Just for a little bit of a review. So the first pick in this year's NBA draft was Anthony Edwards. The second pick in this draft was James Wiseman. The third pick in this draft was LaMelo Ball. Those are the top three picks. They went. Anthony Edwards goes to the Wolves. James Wiseman goes to the Warriors, and LaMelo Ball goes to the Hornets. And then fourth and fifth, Chicago Bulls surprise a lot of people and get Patrick Williams. And then with the fifth pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Isaac Okoro. So Nate, who in the draft really surprised you, or in your reaction to the draft?
Um, who the Bulls get again? Because that one was surprising to me.
Patrick Williams. He is a
Yeah, that
small forward from Florida State.
yeah that surprised me a lot. Because you were talking to me about how they might draft Obi or who else was it that you were talking about? Denny someone.
Yeah, they could have drafted. I thought they were going to draft Obi or Denny Avija, but they went with Florida State's Patrick Williams. And I mean, I'll admit it. My reaction, I wasn't too happy about it. But after looking at it, you also got to look at the bright side. I mean, there are so many guys who did really good in college and then ended up turning into bust in the NBA, and there are so many guys that never got the full college experience and they ended up becoming decent players. So just a little information on Patrick Williams. He is a small forward. He is 6'8", 225. From Florida State. He is a freshman. He was so right now he is the youngest player in the NBA draft at 19 years old, or he was the youngest player in college coming out of the NBA at 19 years old. Um, Here's a little information about Patrick Williams. This is on NBA.com. This is what they had to say about him. So Patrick Williams is an athletic forward with prototypical tools for an NBA forward and a budding offense game that made him a key contributor from day one at Florida State team and finished the year ranked at the top five. Widely regarded as a top 40 prospect in the high school class of 2019 at the conclusion of his prep career at West Charlotte High School, he was named a Jordan Brand All-American, quickly carried out a role for head coach Leonard Hamilton's Seminoles. Williams flashed an impressive blend of athleticism and potential, averaging 9.2 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block over 22.6 minutes per game to earn ACC All Freshman Team honors. He has a 7 foot wingspan. A lot of the Bulls really liked his tools. They really liked that he had a good wingspan. He had big hands. He could play defense. They really liked that type of stuff. And a lot of people were hesitant over his stats, only producing 9.2 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal and 1 block a game because he didn't start. He was the ACC sixth man of the year, and it brought a lot of concerns to Bulls fans. But in my opinion, what they really got to look at is what this kid can become. He has potential. They say he's mature for his age at age 19. So you got a young player. Opposed to like Obi, who's 24 years old. He has an NBA ready body at 6'8", 225. Something that Denny, in my opinion, didn't have. And plus, Denny was averaging less points in his final year as a starter. So, with that being said, he has a decent jump shot. I think will he be like a Steph Curry or a Klay Thompson, or even like for big men, will he be like a Nikola Jokic or like a Kristaps Porzingis, Larry Markkinen, like those types of big guys who can shoot? No, but he can definitely produce a decent shot. Honestly, this they said his ceiling was Paul Millsap. I could see that, but I can see it going a little further. I can see this. I can see him defensively. I can see his ceiling becoming Kawhi Leonard defensively, not offensively. But offensively, I could see him becoming. I want to say offensively, I could see him becoming like it's tough, man. Dwight Howard, if he had a jump shot, to be honest with you, because he can really go up there. He can really jump. Like, he's very athletic. So I mean, like those would be my two comparisons. Like people compare him to Kawhi Leonard. I don't think his mid range game is as good as Kawhi's, but like you can definitely produce something there. Um, but other than that, who else were you surprised with, Nate? Or what else? Or what were you pleased with? What were you not pleased with?
I mean, aside from the aside from the Patrick Williams going to the being drafted by the Bulls, which really surprised me a lot. I like who the Celtics picked up in the first round. Aaron Neesmith. He's a small forward. He's 6'6", 215. He's a sophomore at Vanderbilt. He was one of the most improved players in college basketball this season, emerging as an elite jump shooter before a stress fracture in his right foot ended the season permanently. So I mean, and also it says widely regarded as a top 50 prospect in high school, class of 2018, following his senior year at Porter Guard School. Goud School, my bad. He made an instant impact in the SEC, averaging 11 points and 5.5 rebounds per game as a freshman at Vanderbilt. And as he returned for his sophomore year under his first year, head coach Jerry Stackhouse, Neesmith had a breakout year scoring 23 points per game while shooting 52% from beyond the arc to rank as the most efficient scorer in the country before his season was cut short just one game into the Comadre's SEC slate. So I mean, I'm pretty excited because I'm a Celtics fan. I'm pretty excited to see what this kid can do. He sounds like he's a really he looks like he's a really good player. Looks like he's NBA ready. So we gonna see. We gonna see what he's gonna do.
Absolutely. Personally, one guy I think that if they want to go in the Obi direction, because Obi's weakness, Obi is such an electrifying offensive player, but defensively, Obi is defensively Obi's just not there. And Denny Avija, there was a lot of concerns because of him being in Europe and the amount of points he was averaging per game as a starter wasn't that great. And there was just a lot of questions with Denny. But if they didn't want to go that route, personally, I think one guy you could have went with was Isaac Okoro. I think that's going to be. I think he's going to be a very good player in this draft. To be honest with you, he's another small forward, 6'8", 225. That's an NBA ready body as well. Um, Again, he is going to turn, I believe, 20. He will turn 20 in January. But Isaac Okoro, to my opinion, he's probably the best defender in this draft. This is a guy I can look at. He can guard the point guard, two center. I think, in my opinion, strong dude. He's got a little bit of offense to work on, just like Patrick Williams. But you could definitely work on that with him. He averaged like 12 points a game, 12 or 13 points a game in Auburn. So I mean, and Auburn was top four last March Madness. So that's something you also got to like look at. And with that being said, I think Isaac Okoro can be a very good player in this draft. He averaged 12.9 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, and two assists per game. He earned a spot on the SEC All Conference second, All Freshman, and All Defensive teams. Um, I think honestly, he's probably the most gifted defender in this draft. And I seen the game with him and Anthony Edwards, and he did a good job guarding down, locking down Anthony Edwards. So I think Isaac Okoro is going to be a real threat to mess with in this league. Um, Other than that, let's talk about. Obviously, we knew Edwards was going to go one. We knew Wiseman was going to go two. We knew Lamelo was going to go three. And then after that, everything was just a mystery. Let's talk about Obi going to the Knicks. Your thoughts on that?
His reaction was so funny. I forgot what he said because I was watching and you was watching. We was on the phone. I can't remember exactly what he said
Yeah,
though.
well, Obi's from he grew up in New York, and so
Yeah,
they say like he was crying because he was like drafted by his home team, which is something that everybody wants to dream of, is getting drafted by your home team, especially a team that you like. I could see him crying. He was like, "Damn, damn," and he was like crying, "Damn," and he was just crying. Like, I don't know. I think he was truly happy. There's people obviously making stuff like he's crying because he has to play for the Knicks, which is a place that not many people want to play for. But the one thing with Obi that concerns me, I like Obi. Don't get me wrong; he's gonna be a great offensive player, but his defense concerns me. His defense is the one thing that
yeah.
concerns me. I think they're comparing him with Amari Stoudemire. Well, Amari Stoudemire had good defense too, and Obi's defense it has to be worked on. But if they can work on his defense and they can build him to a decent defender, I think Obi Toppin is going to be one of the best players in this draft. To be honest with you, but it's all about what they can do with that defense, because the defense is key in the NBA. Um, as for Denny, he went to the Washington Wizards right after Obi, and then in my opinion, besides Lamelo Ball, the best point guard in my opinion in this draft was Tyrese Halliburton. He went to Sacramento. Sacramento drafted him. He's 6'5", 175 pounds. He went to a college in Iowa State. He again, I think he's an all around good player. He's got good passing, he's got good shooting, he can defend pretty well. Just to list some stats. As a freshman, he averaged 15.2 points per game. He averaged 5.9 rebounds and 6.5 assists before nagging wrist injury ended it. And again, he has a 7.5 foot wingspan. I think that's insane. He has terrific size for a point guard to go along with impressive quickness. Personally, I think he can bump that 175 pounds up a little bit, but they say he's an intelligent, competitive player. He's a significant scorer. He's ranked among the most efficient passers in the country last season. An unselfish, talented distributor who keeps the ball moving. Halliburton is also capable set shooting, selective slasher, and tremendous finisher in the open court. So honestly, I think that was the best all-around point guard. I think he's really going to be a special kid in this league. Kara Lewis, that's another very good point guard in my opinion. He got drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans, which the New Orleans Pelicans are starting to build a very young franchise. And I think that's going to be a team people are going to have to look out for in the near future. Another point guard, 6'3", 165 pounds. Again, the weight could be up a little bit. He's obviously a smaller point guard than Tyrese Halliburton, but I think he could be one. I think he could be probably the second best point guard in this draft. If you would have asked me which guy is most likely to be an MVP or which guy is most likely to become the player in the draft, I'm gonna be honest with you. You go all the way down to the second round because I think the MVP will be in the second round. To be honest, um, give me give me Cassius Stanley from Duke, and I'm not a Duke fan, but give me Cassius Stanley. 6'6", 195. That's that's good. He's a shooting guard. That right there is good for a shooting guard. He's an exceptionally explosive athlete. I mean, I seen him get up there. He's definitely athletic. He has a budding skill level who shined for stretched in his freshman year at Duke, widely regarded as one of the top 30 prospects in high school of the class of 2019. Stanley gained a following early in his career. His ability to play above the rim and turned into a strong showing at the Jordan Brand Classic following his senior season at Sierra Canyon School. So he's been part of one of the best high schools in the nation. He played for Coach K, who's probably one of the best coaches in college football, or the best college coach in football.
Yes.
Um, he filled a complementary role alongside Vernon Carey and Trey Jones, contributing on both ends of the floor. He averaged 12.6 points a game, 4.9 rebounds, and earned ACC All Freshman Team honors. I think his size is really good. His wingspan's a little small, in my opinion, for 6'7", but honestly, I don't think that's going to be a problem. He has good size. He plays bigger than his listed size, ranking among the most explosive leapers and fastest players in college football. I think he's going to be a very entertaining player. Um, and I think that I believe, who got Cassius? The Pacers. I believe that the Pacers could really use Cassius Stanley. I could see his career starting off as like a sixth man or a bench person behind Victor Oladipo. But after that, I can definitely see Cassius Stanley becoming one of the most premier shooting guards in the league. Grant Ryler from Grant Ryler, that's another good player. He's from University of Charleston. He's a skilled shot maker, ranking among the most productive small conference scorers in the country over his last 3 years in Charleston. I'm sorry. Late guy recruit following his senior year at Akui High School. He redshirted his first season in college before emerging as a starter in the second year freshman, averaging 13 points a game, 2 rebounds. The only problem with what I can see here is he's from a small school. So again, people might look at that as a bad thing. But his last year, he averaged 21.9 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, and 3.9 assists under head coach Earl Grant. He's 6'3", 190. I think that's a very good. I think that's a very good size and stature for an NBA point guard. And honestly, I could see him doing some big stuff too. But personally, I could see James Wiseman being an MVP. If LaMelo lives up to the hype, I could definitely see him becoming like another Trey Young. Anthony Edwards, they're comparing him to Dwayne Wade. Like that's the ceiling right there. That's a very good ceiling, but he's got to put in the work to become Dwayne Wade. Honestly, I can definitely see Cassius Stanley becoming a very good player in this league. I can see Isaac Okoro becoming like the next Andre Iguodala. I can see Patrick Williams. If he can put the work in and he can build on offense, I can definitely see him becoming one of the better players in the league. The Bulls also got a guy from Europe. His name was Marko Simonovic. I forgot exactly where he is from. He's from someplace in Europe, but he can definitely become the next Nikola Jokic if he puts in the work. And honestly, people were looking at this as not very that talented of a draft class. But in my opinion, if these kids really do put in the work, this could become the most talented draft class in NBA, without a doubt. Your thoughts?
got nothing else to say, man. I agree with everything you said, basically.
All right.